I'm the Mayor of Victoria, and I am the lead co-chair of the Victoria Esquimalt Police Board. Thank you very much for joining us here today. We are pleased to announce, the board is pleased to announce that we are appointing Del Manak as the Chief Constable of the Victoria Police Department. Looked very closely at then acting chief's performance for the last year and a half that he's been in the acting role. We did a 360 review of Chief Manak, interviewed the senior command team, others throughout the department, others in the community, and we've determined that he is the best person to lead this department. He's got the smarts, he's got the passion, he's got the experience, and he has come up from the ranks of this department. This is the first time in 26 years that someone from this department has become chief of this department. This is something the board is very proud of. Del, we expect you to lead in the same way that you expect each and every constable in this department to lead, and each and every civilian worker. We expect you to lead with respect, with inclusion, with enthusiasm, and with honor. I've heard you give those speeches so often, and now it's an opportunity to turn these words to you. And we know that you will do all of those things. I want to acknowledge that we do have police board members with us here today. Patty Stockton, Darryl Norgard, and Sean Plater. And Sean Plater is the union. Sean Powell, thank you. We also have our union president with us today, Sean Plater. My colleague from City Victoria Council, Councillor Thornton Joe, is also here with us today to mark this momentous occasion. So thank you to all of you for coming, and I would now like to invite my co-chair, Barb Desjardins, to say a few words.
Thank you, Lisa. On the police board, I feel like we've kind of grown up together. And I can say to you that Del has always come forward with a significant interest to understand, to want to do the very best job, to want to understand what is making communities tick so that he can provide the very best of services. I saw that when he was moved up from inspector to deputy. I saw that through the framework agreement. And I've seen that now when you were moved up to acting chief. And I can tell you all that Del is a very good choice for us. We're all very pleased on the board. I know the communities are going to be pleased when they hear this. It's been long enough acting. You can now take your acting off and become the chief, and we are looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
It now gives me great pleasure to introduce to all of you our new Chief Constable, Chief Manak.
Thank you, Mayor Helps, and I just want to take a second to thank everyone for being here. City managers here, Jason, thank you for being here. Thanks. I want to first start off by thanking the Victorian Esquimalt Police Board for believing in me, for believing in our senior command team, and for believing in our organization. I will forever be grateful for this opportunity, and I'll give you my word right now, I won't let you down. I am honored and I feel very privileged in having the opportunity to lead this incredible organization. Vic PD has a very long and proud history. A history that even predates the Confederation of Canada. Founded in 1858, we are the oldest municipal police department west of the Great Lakes. But despite the history that reaches back to a time when Queen Victoria reigned, I'm proud to say that the men and women of Vic PD look ahead at future opportunities as much as we look back to our past. Vic PD has earned a reputation as a progressive, innovative police department that stands amongst the best police services in Canada. I'm so proud to be a part of this department's next chapter. This is my community and it's my police department. As most of you know, I was born in Victoria, I grew up here, I went to school here, and I've worked most of my life here. Policing has changed considerably over the last few decades. Vic PD has been at the forefront of this change. We have never been afraid to learn from each other and our communities and adjust our style to provide a better, more responsive service. When our community calls, I can tell you with certainty that Vic PD answers the bell. Now, there are many challenges ahead. Police cannot do it alone. The only way that we will overcome these challenges is by working together. I call on our communities to continue to work with us to solve our collective challenges and to keep our communities healthy and safe. Now, given recent world events, policing must change in the face of new realities that include violent extremism and radicalization. We must be prepared to keep our communities safer than we have ever done before. But we must never stop working together. You only need to look south of the border to see how community police relations can deteriorate, resulting in a lack of trust that may take generations to repair. We want to avoid this divide and embrace the diversity of our communities. Through continued engagement and two-way dialogue, we will stay connected with our citizens and our communities. In the coming days and weeks, I know that I'm going to be asked, what are my priorities? The answer is simple. To continue the good work that our organization has been consistently delivering. It is important to realize that even with the uncertainty of the past year or so, the men and women of Vic PD haven't been sitting on the sidelines and waiting for any type of clarity. They have been out in the community, responding to calls for service, delivering community-based policing, and working with our many community partners. My priority is to build on that work and to ensure that it continues to be effective and sustainable. For example, I would like to build on what we have learned from our community and business survey project and the subsequent community engagement sessions that we have had. I want to build on the findings of the recent efficiency review and implement the recommendations. I want to implement our mental health strategy action plan, which is going before the board later this month. And finally, I want to build a sustainable and cost-effective police organization that really sets the standard for other Canadian police agencies. To the communities of Victoria and Esquimalt, I've spoken with many of you at community events, celebrations, and town hall meetings. Thank you for your support of me and of our officers and staff. I will stay engaged, I will listen, and act on what matters to you. To my deputy chiefs, Stephen and Colin Watson, and the rest of our senior command team, thank you for your support and for being committed to making us the strong leadership team that we are today. Now, having worked here for over 24 years and having hired up to 25% of the current staff, I know our people. I trust them and I believe in them. To our officers and civilian staff, by far, you are the greatest strength at Vic PD. You are the finest Canada has to offer. I'm very proud of how you have carried yourself through a difficult time in our history. No matter what your job, you are always committed to doing your very best. I see it day in and day out. I love that you're engaged, you're community-minded, and responsive to the high expectations that are set by our communities. Now, I want to share something that came out of our recent community survey. One of the people that took the survey added a comment. I have lived in a dozen cities across the country, and I must say that the Victoria Police Department is the most empathetic, open-minded, and community-focused force I've ever encountered. Now, I didn't achieve that. You did. The men and women of Vic PD. And that's why I'm honored to be your leader. You care about your job, you care about our people, and you care about our communities. You really are the true heart of Vic PD. Now, no one gets in these positions without getting help from others, and I'm no different. And I want to thank the many people at different stages throughout my career who have mentored me, inspired me, and believed in me. I'm here today because of your support and guidance. To my wife Nikki, my son Rajan, and my daughter Cameron, thanks for your love, support, and sacrifices. I wouldn't be here without your encouragement and support. You mean the world to me. I also wanted to thank my mother-in-law and father-in-law for their support. And just in closing, I just wanted to thank my mom for everything that you've done. You raised me right. You instilled strong family values, a determined work ethic, and you believed in me. And I'm so glad that you're here to share this day. Thank you everyone for coming out today. I'll turn it back over to the house.
This is a proud day for the board. This is a proud day for Vic PD. I think this is a proud day for both of our communities in Victoria and Esquimalt. The leadership that you've shown already will be magnified now that we're instilling in you and installing you as the chief of this department to serve our communities. So thank you so much. Thanks to everyone for coming. And myself, Chief Manak, and Mayor Desjardins are available for comments as we wrap up here. Thank you so much.